There's stuff in every one of us, things that we know need to change. That temper of yours needs to change. That bitterness inside of you needs to be gone. That unforgiveness of your heart. Other things in your life that are there that Jesus says, hey, you know what? I don't like that. It needs to die. You don't need to keep that in your life anymore. You need to die to you and say yes to me. Remember Jesus, where it's not my will, but your will be done. He was dying to himself and his will at that moment. You and I need to lay ourselves on the altar and die to our way of doing things and instead say, Jesus, we're now willing to do things your way. Now, I've noticed over the years that people die on the altar differently. Some people come to the altar of God and God begins to speak to them about things in their life that they need to fix and change and address. And by the way, let me just digress for a moment. If Jesus has never told you to stop doing that, change that in your life, you haven't been to the altar. Because if you've been to the altar, I promise you at some point in time, he's going to get on your case. At some point in time, Jesus is going to get on your case and tell you about some stuff that needs to change in your life. And when he does, you're going to have to say, okay, I'm going to die to that. And as I said, I've watched people die differently. Some people come to the altar and Jesus is dealing with them about something that needs to change in their life. They crawl up on the altar and they lay down. All to Jesus I surrender. All to him I freely give. And they just die this peaceful death, okay? And they give it up to Jesus. And it's a beautiful thing. It's called surrender. Other people die differently. It reminds me of the old Westerns. Do you remember the old Westerns? And when somebody gets shot, one of the old Western movies, and they get shot, and they're supposed to fall over and just die. Instead, they go, oh. They swing around about half a dozen times. 15 minutes later, they die. Okay? You want to say, dude, you were dead 15 minutes ago. Just couldn't fall, okay? God's not impressed with your drama, okay? He's not impressed with that, okay? It's just better off if you just go ahead and die, to die to yourself, okay? Because that's what an altar is about, right? Something had to die, and we have to die to our old way of living. And so, dear brothers and sisters, that's us. I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he's done for you. Because of all he's done for you, give your bodies, your actions, your lifestyle, give it to God. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Don't copy. Read this with me. Come on everybody, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world. Enough said.